On today's episode of WGTV, Firehouse Subs is supporting Prosper's first responders, a local family's past affects their business's menu now, and 2 softball players are making Prosper ISD history. These stories and more on this episode of WGTV. Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning into this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Tyler Medeiros.
And I'm Olivia Cook.
Again, thank you for tuning in a day earlier than normal. Our team will be gone this Friday because we are headed to Austin for State UIL. Olivia, I'm so excited. How about you?
I can't wait. We're going to explore UT Austin, learn from broadcast professors around the state, and most importantly, we're going to learn if our program will win any awards.
Yes, last year we took home silver, and this year we are bringing home gold, hopefully. Reeling back in, however, we have many exciting stories cooking up right after Olivia catches you up on what's been happening at the Grove. Olivia?
Thanks, Tyler. Prom King and Queen nominations are open. Students from any grade can vote for any singer they wish. After voting ends on April 13th, the top 3 nominees for King and top 3 for Queen will be put up for a second vote, which will officially decide the King and Queen. Again, the open voting will end on April 13th, and the top 3 voting will begin on April 24th and end on April 25th. The winners will be announced at prom. For information about voting, check for an email from Mr. Toth or scan the QR code. Last Thursday, the Wildcat Choirs competed at the Region 24 UIL Concert and Sight Reading Evaluation. All 3 choirs performed skillfully and received tremendous ratings from the judges. The Varsity Treble Choir, the Tenor Bass Choir, and the Advanced Treble Choir all received the Sweepstakes Award. In Dallas news, it has been reported that a person with measles visited both Great Wolf Lodge and Grapevine Mills from March 28th to 30th. The infected population for the entirety of Texas has been raised to 481, and the second measles death in the outbreak has been reported. McKinney's Hall Memorial Library is closing this June to welcome renovation period. June 13th is the last day of public access to the library. According to the library's official website, these renovations are being made to create a vibrant, future-ready hub that meets the evolving needs of their patrons.
Prosper's Firehouse Subs does more than just make sandwiches. Kendall Barnes takes a look into one way the restaurant is supporting first responders.
When emergency strikes, every second counts. Thanks to a $50,000 grant by Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation, the Prosper Police Department now has new life-saving equipment to help officers respond faster and more efficiently.
We were awarded $49,000 roughly and some change from Firehouse Subs. And with that money, we purchased automatic external defibrillators from a company known as Stryker. These AEDs will allow us to treat a cardiac patient who's collapsed with a shock to actually treat their heart. And then as soon as fire department arrives, the benefit of these particular AEDs is that they are completely compatible with our fire department's defibrillators, their cardiac monitors that they have on their trucks. So they'll simply just unplug from our AED and plug into their defibrillators.
The investment in life-saving equipment has proven its value. These devices purchased through the grant are compact, easy-to-use devices designed to deliver controlled electric shock to a person experiencing sudden cardiac arrest. These devices were placed in patrol cars and around our community to ensure rapid access in case of an emergency.
I think it was about 6 months ago at, I believe it was out here at Frontier Park. There was a softball game. An older gentleman collapsed during the game. They started CPR. I believe they had an AED at the field. They hooked him up to the AED, and I believe they delivered 1 shock before we got there. They were able to get him back, and when we got there, we continued treatment, took him to the hospital, and he ended up being okay.
This equipment isn't cheap. An AED averages over $2,000 each. With a grant from Firehouse Subs, Prosper PD was able to purchase 21 units to help save lives. For WGTV, I'm Kendall Barnes.
These grants help first responders from across the nation provide life-saving care and equipment to those who need it. And
Looking from Prosper to Texas as a whole, Texas's Attorney General Ken Paxton announced an investigation into Kellogg's, accusing the cereal company of lying about removing artificial dyes from their products. In a press release, Paxton stated, "Artificial food colorings have been shown to have disastrous impacts on health, and in no world should foods that include these dyes be advertised as healthy." The Texas Panhandle and South Plains received a surprise snowstorm on Saturday, April 5th. The National Weather Service in Amarillo observed a snowfall record at their national airport. 2.2 inches of snowfall broke the 1983 record of 1.5 inches. Despite this abnormality, springtime snow has previously occurred in that area.
A newly opened market and deli is planting their roots in the historic downtown Salina Square. Christopher Munchmeyer looks into how this restaurant is bringing generations of family recipes to the table.
A taste of tradition is right around the corner. Mangiamo Italian Market and Deli opened 2 months ago, and with deep family roots, the culture is only expanding. Owner Jason Algier is bringing 3 generations of family recipes to life, one dish at a time.
Growing up, my dad and mom, and we would cook. That's what we did. We used family recipes. It was absolutely passed down recipes and meals and little note cards and your grandmother's cursive that's just stained with so many different colored food spills.
Cherished family recipes aren't just kept in the family. They're at the heart of the Mangiamo menu. For Jason, it's about more than just the food. It's about who he shares the kitchen with.
I get it. There's that struggle with a lot of fathers and sons, but we really don't have it. We get along great. We're friends and colleagues, really. So it's great. I love getting to work with my dad.
The family atmosphere extends beyond blood relations. From the kitchen to the staff at the front counter, everyone helps bring these dishes to life.
Mangiamo's is an Italian restaurant, so you can really feel the culture here when you walk in. We're playing Italian music all the time, and we have a deli and a market, so it's very Italian-oriented.
Customers love a good Mangiamo pizza, and the recipe you see here is the result of 3 generations of influence. For WGTV, I'm Christopher Munchmeyer.
If you want to see and taste this history in action, visit Mangiamo's Market and Deli, located at 203 West Pecan Street, Salina, Texas. And from serving up savory food to achieving sweet victory, Walnut Grove Spring Athletics are in full gear. Jackson Kongursky is in studio for your sports recap. Jackson?
Thanks, Tyler. Starting off our sports recap, we're going to be looking outside the Grove and towards the American Airlines Center, where former Dallas Mavericks star Luka Dončić played last night against his old team. Much of the sports world is still shaken up about his abrupt trade, and yesterday, WGTV's Camila Salinas went around the Grove to gather Wildcat opinion on the trade.
Thanks, Jackson. Today, we asked Walnut Grove students whether they think the Luka trade was a good idea and who they think is going to win tonight. All right. How do you feel about the Luka trade?
I'm not too happy about it. I'm not a big Mavs fan, but I think it was just an overall bad trade. Anthony Davis is old, hurt. He's just, compared to Luka, he's not that good of a player.
And how do you think the game's going to go tonight?
I think the Lakers are going to stomp the Mavs.
What are your opinions on the Luka trade?
It's awful.
Awful? Why?
It crushed me.
It crushed
He was the soul of Dallas.
He was the soul of Dallas. Wow. Did you cry?
I did. Real tears, too.
Real tears. Wow.
The first day was just complete shock, and the next day just set in. It was terrible.
So this really hit you hard. And how do you feel about the game tonight?
Awful. I'm going to cheer for the Lakers because, more of a fan of Luka than I am of Dallas now. So
this really moved you?
Definitely.
All right, what is your opinion on the Luka trade?
Top 1 worst trades of all time. Number 1, the Luka trade.
Okay, now how do you feel about the game tonight?
It's gonna be so bad. I think I might shed a couple tears watching it, honestly.
Do you shed tears often?
No.
No?
No.
How do you feel about the Luka trade?
It was terrible.
It was terrible. How do you think the game's going to go tonight, Lakers versus Mavs?
I think Luka's going to score 50.
Luka's going to score 50? Wow, that's a lot.
It's Luka Dončić.
How do you feel about the Luka trade?
It crushed me. I hated it so much.
It crushed you too? Wow.
Yeah, I think Nico Harrison is not very smart for it.
Wow. You would not have made that mistake?
No, I think Anthony Davis sucks. So Luka Dončić is one of the best in the league.
Wow, a lot of hate. How do you feel about the game tonight?
I think the Lakers are going to destroy the Mavs. I don't think it's going to be close.
At all. What's your score prediction?
Like 130 to 93.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Jackson.
The Lakers won the game yesterday against the Mavs 112 to 97. A lot closer than some Wildcat students thought, but Luka Dončić scored over 40 points by himself. Tons of fans showed their support for the former Mav, and he even teared up when a video remembering his time was shown before the game. Moving on to sports at the Grove, last Friday, boys soccer played in the state semifinals against the America's Trailblazers. Despite the pressure, the boys dominated with a 5-1 win. This victory now places the Wildcats in the state championship game for 5A Division I. Before the Wildcats left for El Paso, WGTV was able to get an interview with Coach Kutch on how the team plans to stay mentally prepared.
This year we've been on a roll, and having the opportunity to finally get into a big game that no other boys program as far as for the soccer side in Prosper's been to, and we're looking for that day. Both teams first time in the state final, so obviously nerves and energy and all adrenaline really taking place, but which team settles and plays composed and plays their style of soccer is going to be very crucial.
The boys play tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. against the Southwest Dragons to see who takes home the title of state champions. Swinging into softball, the girls played against Lovejoy last Friday and came out with a clutch 1-0 win. Their most recent game was played against Sherman, where the girls would go on to win big with a final score of 19-7. They had 4 total home runs with their win over at Sherman, 2 by Ella Burlage, 1 by Kaylee James, and 1 by Vivian McKernan. And sticking with softball, Hudson Acosta has a story on how 2 softball players are setting the standard.
Senior Ella Burlage and senior Lindsay Hooker are making Prosper ISD history. Both have surpassed 150 career hits, breaking the previous Prosper ISD record of 144. But Lindsay isn't done yet. She's now currently tied for the Prosper ISD career home running record of 34 home runs, adding yet another milestone to an already historic season.
Everyone knows, too, is also very nerve-wracking, but I mean, I'm trying not to focus on it as much. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do, is trying to hit a home run. I'm just trying to help my team out, but they know I'm kind of in my head right now about it, especially because I haven't hit one in a while. So they've just been really encouraging and telling me to take deep breaths and just get a job done, and it will eventually happen.
While Lindsay's power at the plate has tied her for the home running record, it's a long-standing competition between her and Ella that helped them both break the all-time hit record too.
Me and Lindsay have known each other since 3rd grade, have always played softball with each other, and we've been best friends since we were little, so breaking that record together is really amazing. Like, I didn't even know what game I beat it, to be honest, but me and Lindsay are both trying to make the record even harder to beat by competing with each other. Both coming to Walnut, we both helped to like push each other. And then that made us both a lot better to help get us to that record too.
That friendly rivalry has been a driving force behind their growth and success over the years.
There's always an element of competition with good athletes where they want to, one-up their teammate, right? It's a good thing because iron sharpens iron. She practiced the skill a lot, outfield, infield, took it serious, and you can tell that her preparation actually allows her to have success on the field itself.
Lindsay has 157 career hits, while Ella has 153 respectively. They're both closing in on several other records as well. For WGTV, I'm Hudson Acosta.
The Grove softball team has their next game tonight at home, 6:45 p.m. versus McKinney North. And that's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Jackson Kingerski. Back to you, Tyler and Olivia.
Thank you, Jackson. That's all we have for today's episode. For WGTV, I'm Olivia Cook.
And I'm Tyler Medeiros. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats, set the standard.